I'm just gonna get straight into it. Go straight into it. Not waste anyone's time today. This year, this year has been a huge year of the people demanding change, people demanding justice. In record numbers, we all came together and demanded change from these old ass regimes. We as a people, we all stood up together, one voice. And no, I'm not talking about politics. Get your head out the gutters, sir. I'm talking about sports fandomship in Chicago. Today, this year, 2020, we all came together. We were tired of Jim Boylan. We were tired of Garpax. And our voices were heard, and we got them the hell out of here. Sent them back in. My question to you guys is, what are our next cries? Because I sit here as a Chicago Bears fan, wondering, what the hell is my team? What are we? Are we a playoff team? Should we be looking to rebuild? Do I even like our coach? My voice was heard as a Chicago Bulls fan, and I demanded our voices be heard as Chicago Bears fan. The question I'm going to ask to Porky first. I'm going to go to Porky first. Porky, is Nagy and Pace on the hot seat this year? Are we thinking that we need a change in our Bears front office in order to get the ball moving? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think the rest of the season is going to dictate which one of the two will be on the hot seat. With
You said dictate.
Grow up, Professor. Come on. It's business time.
With Foles, the QB now, and Nagy making that executive decision mid-game, the ball is in his court. So really his fate is determined by how the rest of the season goes. Not so much record rise because it's kind of an interesting year, but the team dynamics.
What do you mean? What do you mean not much is record wise? We started off 5-1, and what are we, 5-4 now? What do you mean record wise? Like, isn't the record like usually part of it? Like, are you saying there's something else besides the record that can make you want to keep Nagy in pace and keep this going for you? Because do you really trust this regime with a new quarterback next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
And because it's if Nagy ends up passing over offensive play calling, which we're going to see how that plays out. If he does make that decision, then that's a sign of growth, right? It's a sign of him saying, "Listen, I know there needs to be change, and let's make something happen." I discount Pace's first year with having a very crappy situation, right? To me, I see it as somebody said, "Oh, what if Harbaugh comes here?" I see it as the same thing if you bring in John Fox when you did, right? Just trying to shake up with some old Chicago juju and saying, "Oh, here it is. You got a Chicago win again," and it doesn't do anything, right? It's good for a small portion, right? So I'm giving Pace and Nagy about 1.5 years, 2 years of actual judgment when we can say, "Hey, look at the defense. The defense is solid." I'm great with that. Offense, it is up in question. So really, the rest of this year, because of Mitch's performance and what it seemed like there was potential, and there were other teams interested in Mitch, but since he jumped up to second to get him, that's why he's just so criticized. But I mean, there was a demand for Mitch by some people. I still wanted to get Watson. I still think that they should have just took Watson and went from there. But getting Mitch at what they did, I can't necessarily agree with it. I'm not inside that draft room.
I need to see these receipts. Where was the demand for Mitch? I need to see these receipts.
Well, there was other coaches after the fact. Once they were all over him, or organizations saying, so there was interest, right? Or maybe demand is a strong word, but there was definitely interest, right? And we saw flashes of what Mitch might be or could be, and it was just like, no.
We also
ain't
saw
there.
flashes of what he actually is.
Yeah.
DGB.
What we thought and what we actually got.
He is who we thought he would be. No, I'm just kidding. No. DGB, we rank like 29th, 28th offensively. And if you actually watch our games, it looks a lot worse than that. I watched the Jets on Monday Night Football against the Patriots, and they look like a more well-tuned offense than us. And they have Joe freaking Flacco. I don't know where that's coming from. I never thought that would come out of my mouth. DGB. Porky says, give Nagy and Pace the rest of this year. Do give him credit. Build a great defense. Doing well on defense. But our offense just is poo-poo. OBJ would love our offense.
Yeah. No, I mean.
That was an OBJ joke. But go ahead.
No, the whole problem, I mean, that is obviously evident if you watch 5 minutes of a Bears game is, the offense is so terribly inept. And they've really tried to kind of usher in anything that would help the Matt Nagy system, right? Having Nick Foles surrounded by people that know the system, kind of can't say, the training wheels are on the system, all that kind of shit. But Nick Foles just isn't getting it done also, right? So Nagy as a play caller then looks bad to worse almost because the play on the field, isn't getting pulled off even with a guy that knows the system, kind of more inherently than Mitch. So unless the offense turns it around, even in the slightest, right? I mean, I watched, about half of the Bears game, turned it off to watch some of the other matchups, and then kind of like peeked back in here and there, but knew it was over, by just watching a small portion. So there's that part of it, right? Is firing Matt Nagy, not firing him. Like I said, I like him as a leader, of the team. But, unless there is some kind of changes there offensively, it's hard to say that you have faith that he'll be kept on, if not for monetary reasons of, paying another coach.
So you too, do you also have faith with Nagy and Pace with a new QB next year? Talking likes of Trey Lance, what's these kids' name? Mac Jones. Who are these? Like these are some. There's some studs in the league that's gonna be. Yeah, there's gonna be some pretty good studs next year. Do you trust him? Porky has the utmost confidence. Do you trust him?
Ryan Pace hasn't given me any kind of thing to be positive or trustful or faithful, I should say, about in drafting offensive players outside of some of the offensive linemen. I mean, when James Daniels is healthy, Cody Whitehair, when he's healthy, very good, right? He finds some of these guys, but like the top end talent, he is swung and missed on repeatedly. So to say, do you trust them in that position again for drafting the right guy? My faith isn't very, doesn't register very high. So I'd rather, if they're going to go that route, maybe have some trusted scouts, have their voices more empowered. Maybe that's the thing, as opposed to having it a Ryan Pace decision. But, we all know it doesn't work like that. So I'm a little scared.
All right, I love to see the optimism on this pod. You guys are super upbeat. I love that. I really am, and it's making me feel a little bit better about sticking with my Bears. I saved you last.
Can I say one thing?
Go for it.
If we're talking about when you kind of said the lead in with the Bulls, right? Kind of thing. Look at how you feel. Compare and contrast how you feel if Jim Boylan and the Pax and Garpax era was still there, or still, kind of in full swing. Like how you feel with them at this draft next week, comparatively now with AK and Mark Eversley and all that, and how we feel, a little bit more positive. So I kind of compare it that way,
100%.
where it kind of has a little bit of mirrored things. So
100%. That's why I asked that question, because I feel great about us going into the draft, and we will talk about the Chicago Bulls in just a little bit. Got to get the Bears out of the way, because the Bears. I wanted to end off the pod with positivity. All right. So we will talk about the Bulls draft in a little bit, but that's why I called it out, because we got. Yes, I am putting a lot of that stock on us and saying that we got them out of, got Boylan and car packs out of here. Yes, it just looks like a brighter day. I'm wearing Chicago Bulls gear. I've been wearing rock Chicago Bulls gear in forever. I am a happy Bulls fan. I'm a very, very displeased Bears fan, and there's a lot of us out there.